All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. Hope y'all are making it a great day. All right, I didn't hear the music playing, so I had to check and see if the music was actually on. It is, but it's chilling music, so it's apparently quieter than I expected. But good stuff, good stuff. Jar Jar says hi, DL. Wet Pliskin says hello. All right, hey guys. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're making it a great day today. I figure we'll play the GAC today, and I'll also talk a little bit about some financial stuff. So, if anybody's interested in that, after the stream, I'll talk a little bit about some of the stuff that I've been looking at and doing for the last few months. And not with the intention of, giving people advice or telling people what to do, but just kind of an outlook on some things that I'm thinking as a statistician. And if I influence some other people to make decisions for themselves, then, maybe my point of view could help other people succeed. Or maybe it makes things worse for people. I don't know. It's going to be your choice if you want to listen to whatever I have to say. But I figure I'll talk about it a little bit, just for the fun of it. Put it on record, document it, lock it down, make it public, and there's something about that. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to go on a diet or something like that. And if you decide that you're going to lose weight, and you just do that on your own by yourself in a corner. The first time that you stop doing your diet, if you're the only person that knows you're doing it, it's real easy to lose focus and quit. It's real easy. But if you announce it to the whole world, you post it on Facebook, you tell everybody, I'm going on this new diet, I'm going to drop 20 pounds. Making it real and public and tangible sort of forces you to have different goals. So, I don't know. That's a little bit what I want to do today, is just talk about some of the things. And then 3 years from now, maybe I'll watch this video and I'll just laugh at myself for what a idiotic noob I was. But yeah, putting it on record makes it different. So that's what we're going to do. All right. Dominant says, greetings, DL. Been a while since I've seen Dominant in the chat. Hey, welcome, welcome. All right, so let's look at this GAC and start thinking about what we're going to do here. I did get a win on my last round, so I cleared his stuff off except for one ship. And I said, the only hope is that we also will get a hold, and we did. The back zone back here held on, and he sort of ran out of teams with a few to go. And, yeah, didn't have anything for him. So we got to win. Nice. So going into the next round, we're fighting Elmo. 11.28, I mean, almost the same galactic power as I have, which is nice. It's a fair matchup, 6.9 million, basically 7 million characters, 4-3 in ships. And Galactic War Battles won 32,000, so he's been playing for almost 8 years. In terms of ship inventory, Leviathan is in, Executor is in, Profundity. So kind of like me, he's one ship short of everything, right? So I'm waiting on Leviathan, and he's waiting on Profundity. So that's interesting. Interesting. Puts us kind of in the same boat. He's got all 9 Galactic Legends, though. So I'm still missing Lord Vader, so I've only got 8. But again, we're in similar spots here. He does have higher relic levels than me in general. Of course, Darth, Revan, Malak, all these characters, have already made it to the appropriate relic level for the Leviathan. So he's got a lot more, let's say, quality in the relics that he's got. But then, you know, it looks like he doesn't just buy all the Lightspeed bundles. It looks like he's playing at his own pace. So there's quite a few things down here that, like the Jawas, I bought the relic packs for that, the Tuscans, the Coruscant Underworld Police, that kind of stuff, that this player has chosen not to get. So he's been, let's say, a little more efficient with his galactic power in the sense that he's relicking the characters that he actually needs. But still, it's interesting. I love looking at other people's accounts and like seeing what they're doing, and you kind of get an idea of what that looks like. Okay, let's sort by speed here just for the fun of it. Fastest non-GL character is Ahsoka, 346. Okay, that's all right, but not knocking me off my feet there. 339 on Array Vision. If we come down here to Captain Rex, a couple layers lower, we're still over 300, so he's got pretty good bots. He's got pretty good speed. I'll have to watch it and be careful. All right. So it seems like a pretty fair matchup. I mean, we're similar on ships. He's got, I think, a little bit of a character advantage on me. About the same on mods overall. What's his Datacron situation looks like? Do we have a Datacron advantage here? Yeah, he's got more of the new set for sure than we do at this point. About the same on the old set though. Interesting. Working on the Africron for the fixed ones. Okay, well, let's get in here. So similarly, Elmo has cleared us off to this last set. And we've got this Enfys nest back here on the back wall. And it looks like he needed a couple tries to get through the Queen Amidala team, and then stalled out on Dash. Oh, what a feeling when your defenses actually hold. Everything cleared here in one shot. Everything cleared here, one shot. He did have two shot on the Sana team, though. Interesting. I didn't notice that when I looked before. And then ships were just clean one shots. So, to the point where he stopped, he was pretty efficient. But then we did get a hold. So if I can full clear him, we win. Let's look at the top zone first. We've got some Inquisitors up here, Third Sister. We've got some First Order, not too scary. Queen Amidala with no Omicron. Got this Qui-Gon team. This thing's been giving me fits lately, but we'll continue to try to work out a way to reliably beat that team. And then here we've got some Gungans that we have to deal with. On the bottom side, we've got a mess. We've got Galactic Legend Ahsoka here with interesting... There's not a Padawan Sabine. There's instead the Ahsoka Fulcrum. Only a level 3 Datacron here with the 15% max health and protection. Here we've got Lord Vader with Maul. Here we've got some bounty hunters. That's not too scary. This Rey team probably have to use Leia there, try to get through that. Ezra. And then we've got Jabba down here, who I think we'll certainly try Night Sisters first. Try to get a cheap win there. So if we use Leia here, we use Night Sisters here, and then maybe follow that up or clean it up, whatever I have to do. That would leave us with the Bo-Katan that we could use against... So if I use the Bo-Katan against Lord Vader or... Okay. So what we could do, we could use the Bo-Katan here. We could use JML here. Or Bane. We could actually use Bane there. We could try to Bane the Vader. That leaves JMK open for this Queen Amidala team to manage that. So maybe we use Bane on the Vader. That still leaves us with Gungans that we have to deal with. But we'll have JML still, right? So Night Sisters plus cleanup if needed. Leia. Bane. Bo-Katan. Something here. And JML can do the Gungans. JMK can do the Queen Amidala. Okay, I got a plan. I have a plan. A man, a plan, a canal, Panama. You guys know what that is, right? You know what that saying is? A man, a plan, a canal, Panama. That's a very long sentence that's also the same spelled backwards or forwards. So if you read the sentence backwards, it's a palindrome. It's the same backwards and forwards. A man, a plan, a canal, Panama. Okay, but we have a man, we have a plan, we have a canal. We don't have a canal. There's no canal that we own in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but okay. This Phoenix team. We don't have Phoenix. We don't have Phoenix. We put Phoenix on... We put Captain Rex on defense with that Luthen team. So we don't even get to try Phoenix against Third Sister. There's no Grand Inquisitor together with the Third Sister, though. So maybe this is manageable. This is 5 bro and 8 bro. We'll still have some Galactic Legends. We'll have SLKR left and Sith Eternal left. So we can still, as long as there's nothing too scary on the back wall, we should have a tool to deal with this. Okay, JMK, JML, C or SLKR or something. Okay. Okay. The plan still works. Plan verified. Let's do the ones that we know we're going to do first. Just play them the way we're going to play them. All right, so we want Leia, the usual suspects here. A little robot, Captain Drogon, and then we'll try to get something that's good for... Oh. Yeah, that's not that good. If somebody gets defeated, we gain offense and speed for the rest of the encounter. I don't mind that. That's not bad. Because we'll probably lose R2 or Drogon, one or the other. This team can be pretty bursty when she does like 2 or 3 whirlwinds in a row. All right. So chat's pretty quiet. And chat's also slacking with the lightsabers. There's a picture of a lightsaber. This is how you use it. You take that, you slash through this little like button, turn it into various bits of confetti. Please do that. It does help me, helps the channel. And I'm not trying to be a big famous YouTuber and, you know, grow my subscriptions and do all kinds of crazy stuff with my channel. But, you know, as long as I'm streaming and putting out videos, every little bit does help. So I would appreciate if you all could help me out. Okay. So what to do here? Let's set everybody on fire. Let's do that. Okay. Let's give Rey a little bump here. All right, now let's try to pick off Ezra Bridger. We didn't get him. Disaster. Okay. All right, let's play a game of hide the everybody. I don't know. Let's put him on fire here. See if we can deal some damage. We gotta get rid of this guy. We gotta get the other guys into damage immunity. We've really got a lot of work to do here. This is crazy. All right. What to do? Try to keep the stacks off of her. Try to take some stacks off of him. Okay. We gotta start popping these guys through their damage immunity. We're stuck behind Ezra, though, which is really not fantastic. All right, come on, get on fire. Okay, her damage immunity is done. We gotta just throw out the ult here and just charge. Okay, we didn't actually lose Drogon there. That's a surprise. Okay, he's in damage immunity. Now we'll get back on Leia. Okay, we managed to get rid of the, oh God. Drogon's going next. So if we can get a kill here and then get a kill with Drogon, we're good. Okay, we got it. We got rid of that Ezra exile nonsense on an area of effect. That was nice. That was nice. Okay. Leia, still got what it takes. Man, I should really probably Relic 8 my Drogon. The amount of additional offense you get out of that is pretty significant. And I feel like a Relic 8 Drogon would have killed. Would have got the kill right there. Sean Unavailable says, Lightsaber deployed. All right. Well, thank you very much for deploying that Lightsaber. Appreciate everybody who does that to help me out. Okay, let's take a look at Night Sista here. Talzin, Marin and Old Daka. And the tenacity thing, I don't know. Somebody had recommended that I use more tenacity to keep Marin alive, which did keep Marin alive, but it also helped keep Talzin alive the whole time in the last fight. So I feel like I'm gonna go for no tenacity. Let's just try. Offense would be good. I don't really need armor penetration. I kind of wish that I had one of these crons that just had like a bunch of offense and just that's it. There's a little bit of tenacity. It's light side mechanics though. This is a bunch of stuff. It's got 12% offense. It's not bad. Crit chance, crit damage. I don't mind that. We could take this one. It's Hut Cartel stuff. I've actually got 3 Embo crons. I knew I had 2 Embo crons, but I don't remember actually making the 3rd Embo cron. But I actually have 3 of them. So I've got 2 in inventory, and I got one on my defense for Jabba myself. All right, we'll do this. And okay, I'm going to control this manually. I think I have the temptation to put it into auto too soon. So I think I'm going to resist the temptation this time, and we are not going to put it in auto too soon. And I'm really going to try to get Leia killed. I hate this. I got to go into stealth, though. If they just continue to target me for like one more round, then I'll be lower life than Daka, and it will all end badly. We've seen it too many times. Okay. Daka's going to die, which is good. There we go. All right, Chrysanthemum is back. It's fine. They're targeting Talzin, which is good. Nope, nope. Ah, come on. We got to try to get her to die on her own, but it didn't matter. We still got Daka back. Okay, well, this is probably a loss and a cleanup again. I've got to add relics to my Marin. Marin's probably going to die to detonators. Sure enough. Oh, that's it. Okay, though. I mean, we said we'd probably have to clean it up. It's not really a surprise to anyone. I don't mind being a 2-shot here. If it works out, it works out. But if I can clean it up with Imperial troopers, I still feel pretty good about killing a Galactic Legend with a good Datacron without using a Galactic Legend. Got to use the Dark Trooper here, and we got to try to find a Datacron that's got a lot of armor penetration. Let's tank revive. We don't want that. Here's a bunch of armor penetration. Sure, we'll take that. That just gives us a little more heat from the troopers. In we go. Boris Wira says, hola. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Okay. No, this is just Dark Trooper stuff, right? Like the entire fight relies on Dark Trooper doing Dark Trooper things. I'm actually going to do turn meter here to try to get all the way down through this initial health on Jabba. Oh, he didn't use his basic. He didn't use his basic, and down he goes. Relic 7 Jabba. The difference between a Relic 7 Jabba and a Relic 9 is really pretty big. Okay, Person DeLoreans, let's go. We got the Bo-Katan Mandalore. We've got the IG Grogu. We've got the Paz Vizsla. This worked before against a team with Padawan Sabine, but this, of course, is a different setup here. Let's see. Do we have one that's giving us health and protection anymore? I put a bunch more Datacrons on defense, so looks like I don't have something with the 15% light side stuff. Okay. Well, we'll have to take this then. Guapo says, seems the only way I get to see a DL Saturday live is if I take work off. Well, I'm happy to have you here. It's always fun to have interesting people in the chat. Speaking of which, if you guys got any questions, you want to know anything about the game, about your account, pop it up over in chat. I'm always happy to talk with people. Do the occasional account review for the community. That's not as relevant as it once was. Like, you know, a few years ago, it was really a lot of fun doing account reviews because everybody's account was so different, and you could really, like, based on what people were building, there was a big variety of what would be good to build next, you know? Now it's kind of like, I hate to say it, but literally everybody's on the same build path. You know, you're either in the early game build path stabilizing your account, or once you've got Conquest under control, then you're, you know, building kind of your mid game with light speed bundles. And then once you get, you know, later into the mid game, then you know, then you're in the phase of chasing the new stuff. So yeah, it's kind of, all the account reviews have kind of turned into the same thing. It's unfortunate. I really enjoyed doing that. Let's just get Hu Yang out of here. I don't really want to be using my mass assist on him, but I'm tired of him existing, so out he goes. Your existence annoys me, Mr. Droid. All right. Bye. She cleaned up nicely, got her clothes all bleached. So let's go. Did some laundry right there in the middle of combat. It's always nice to take a little bit of time out. Get your clothes cleaned up. Get the bright whites. All right, let's try to finish this thing off. I think we probably still need another armor shred. Okay, in we go. Yeah, all right. 55 banners. We'll take it. Guapo says, thank you, DL. Happy to be here. Glad you're live. I have something to watch while I'm eating my Whopper. Nice. Check out this cup that my wife got for me. It's a periodic table of the Star Wars. It combines two of the things that I love the most. Chemistry plus Star Wars. Come on. Doesn't get much better than that. If I had on a Star Wars shirt, then it would just really be, that would be everything, right? A Star Wars shirt, a Star Wars cup with chemistry, playing a Star Wars game, talking to Star Wars fans. My goodness. I was wearing a Hawaiian shirt. It's like a Hawaiian print shirt. Actually, it's right over here. I'll show you guys. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I can't really wear this one on stream because it has a lot of green in it. And green just disappears into the green screen. Oh, it actually shows up. That's pretty good. So it's a Hawaiian shirt, and you can see the plants. But then within the plants, there's Star Wars spaceships, the Death Stars peeking out. And it's funny. You know, people will look at the shirt and they'll be like, that's a cool, oh, there's Star Wars stuff in there. Like, I love that second reaction when they see the shirt and they say they like it, and then they see that it's got like the Star Wars spaceships in it. That's always fun. All right, let's look for armor penetration. I found that works quite well with, this is Dark Side Tank Revive. I really don't want to burn that if I don't have to, but it looks like that's the best armor pen that I have still. This is good. This is good, and it doesn't burn the Dark Side Tank Revive. Boris Weir says, yeah, feels a bit not diverse. I literally got a periodic table, Star Wars table PJs. Pajamas. Nice. Based on your mug, who are you drinking? Who am I drinking? Based on my mug, who am I drinking? This is probably a Jedi drink, right? I'm drinking chai tea. So if I'm drinking chai tea, kind of a soothing, relaxing sort of a thing, probably Jedi. Probably drinking me some Yoda right now. Did you watch the release of E3 in the theaters? No. I did watch episode 3. I watched, oh, are you asking like way back when? Like way back when in episode 3? So the first Star Wars movie I ever watched was Return of the Jedi. That was my introduction to Star Wars. And every Star Wars movie that's come out after that, I went to the theater to see it as soon as I could. Yep. Watched Andor last night. Watched the first couple episodes of Andor. That's out now. It's fantastic. Dominant says, I watched it in 4DX when Mace Windu and Sidious were fighting at the window. It gets blown out by the wind. It was literally in my face. It was insane. Oh, nice. Boris says, I was thinking Jawa juice. Guapo says, what a cool shirt. Got me Googling Hawaiian Star Wars shirts. No Darth Loquitur this last week. They re-released it in theaters. Oh, that's cool. Nah, no, I didn't go to a theater to see it. But I saw it in a theater when it came out. But you're right. I mean, seeing it in like a theater with the good sound equipment and everything else, that must be fantastic. Yeah, that's lovely. My wife bought me these shirts with the Star Wars stuff on it. There's some company, I believe it's actually in Hawaii. So they do Star Wars shirts like that one with the print. And there's also an artist that is licensed to draw Star Wars. So I've got a bunch of shirts that have like drawn Star Wars stuff on them. And I really like those because it feels unique, right? Like that's not something you're going to buy in Walmart. You gotta order those special. And I would say, on a scale of 1 to 10, the artist isn't like extremely realistic where the people look like portraits or something. But it's a cool interpretation. It's fan art, It's fan art that he has the permission to publish and make money off of. He or she. I actually don't know if the artist is a man or a woman, but yeah, I like that kind of stuff. I like it. All right, let's get in here against Lord Vader. I'm yapping and not playing. Bovo says, "Hey DL, hope all is well." Some as well. Yeah. It's I think been a long time in my life since all is well. But like I always say, life is what you make out of it. So if you choose to make it a good day, it's going to be a good day. You just got to make that choice and make it happen. I still got to kill this guy before Lord Vader, right? Okay. Let's siphon him. All right. And then we'll just keep smacking Lord Vader till he goes, oh! I get so nervous when the screen freezes like that. The screen just, I don't know if you guys saw it on your end, but on my end, the screen just like froze for a good like second and a half, like it was going to lock up on me. Oof. Bobo says, that's adulthood, keep pushing on. Exactly. I mean, if you expect your life to be perfect, you're just going to be in a state of constant disappointment for your entire life. Like, some things are hard, Some things are hard. There is something to be said, though, for like, once you've had something really bad happen to you, it changes the perspective of your life so much. Like the first time that my wife and I had a miscarriage, that was up to that point like the worst thing that had ever happened in my life. And it was very traumatic. And after that, I mean, a lot of work stuff. There was just a lot of stuff that it seemed like such a big deal. And it's like, that's not a big deal anymore. Like who cares? It's not a big deal. And my mom passed away from cancer. And, at the time that it happened, it was one of the worst things, maybe not the worst thing, but it was on the list of the worst things that happened. And, I mean, it's the course of things. Everybody's going to go sometime, but I lost my mom to cancer, and that was rough. But it's interesting how the older you get, the more, like that idea of who moved my cheese or whatever, the little stuff doesn't bother you nearly as much. It's, life's a series of these little traumas, but after you've had a few big ones, like you just really settle down and start to enjoy every day as it comes. Or at least that's been my experience. I don't know if that's the experience that everybody has, but it has been for me. We're going to take CLS in on this bounty hunter team. I feel like it's the ZAM teams sort of, they're good. They have damage, but it's not like super fast damage flying out. So I feel like CLS is a decent bet here. Should be able to, I should have put that on Luke. Should be able to clean up this Dengar. I don't think Dengar has enough to fully resist a CLS team. Not like we're playing against a... I mean, you got to be very careful with CLS against bounty hunters if something like Jango Fett is in there. Because Jango can really be a problem. If you kill the other team too quickly and you get Jango stuck in damage immunity, CLS removes turn meter, and you just sit there for the entire rest of the game spinning your wheels and it'll time out. All right, so we have Tuskens with a Datacron. We have Iden. That should be Wampable. Geos. Zori Bliss up here. And Malicos. So we can probably SLKR that Malicos, right? Probably. Okay, so JML. I think that leaves us using Sith Eternal here. I feel pretty good about Sith Eternal versus the Inquisitors, don't you guys? Is there an easier way to beat that? It's third sister with fifth brother and eighth brother. It's not like a premium version of that team. So maybe there's something else that beats it that's cheaper than Sith Eternal, but I still have him, so I can use him. We'll use a lame Datacron here. We don't need anything too good. Just a few stats because we can. Bovo says, sorry to hear that. Loss is never easy, but always remember, you carry them with you even if they're not here on Earth. That's true. SLKR with Dark Side Ray is probably better off for control versus the Reva. Okay. But that still leaves me with a Malicos on the back wall. I can't see that Reva team. You know, it may be a disaster. I may be in for a disaster. But I think I still have a Dark Side tank revive. I can take Sith Eternal, Watt, and a tank. And it feels like that team's going to struggle to kill my tank twice and kill C before he can just, you know, get his first nuke off. See the Malicos? Huh. Man, I feel really like it's the other way around. Okay, I'll have to make a decision on that here in a minute. Okay, let's get Kenobi Cat in here. Both teams have no revive clauses. Malicos and Deathmark on Reva. So tank revive is not relevant. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So tank revive actually won't work. Okay, so we're doing stuff here. We're resetting Cat. We're waiting. She's going to put him in stealth. Fine. This is how things work. And we'll put Shin over here. Then we'll cleanse off all these debuffs. And we'll just make sure we're not doing anything foolish. And continue to stack up for our ult. And we'll go to a full ult because it's still going to be a turn before everybody snaps out of... we could just go for it now. I mean, we don't have to wait, right? So, okay, fine. We'll do this, and then when Queen takes a turn, she'll pop out of stealth. And that should be before a Cat. So we can -1 Queen Amidala. And... we should be able to kill the prisoner of war over here. people abbreviate Padawan Obi-Wan as POW, and POW is also prisoner of war. So I don't know. I always see POW and think prisoner of war. Okay. Probably just got to go kill the clone now because she's going to be getting in the way anyway. And then we can go back to Qui-Gon. I got to tell you guys, though, I won't give any spoilers for Andor. But whoever did the names for Andor, there are some really unfortunate names. Really unfortunate names that they chose. One of the characters' names is Bix. B-I-X. It's a female character. And I'm hard of hearing. I got hearing problems. So they keep saying, like, that's okay, Bix. Bix be cool, you know. And I do not hear Bix. It'll be all right, Bix. One of the pilots' name is Porco. Again, Porco is it's just an unfortunate name. If you could pick any name in the galaxy, I feel like Porco ain't it. I don't know, guys. So I have to admit, I was probably doing an inappropriate amount of laughing at the Star Wars names. How rude. All right, let's just take Revan and Hermit Yoda. Man, Hermit Yoda's not so good, right? Because he can't actually hit the generator on his turn. Do we want to save Luke for a different team? Do we need to save Luke for a different team? I feel like I need somebody who can actually hit the target. Maybe we use Snips. She dies too fast, though. Who's got some durability? Shakti? Shakti's got a little bit of durability. Okay, let's try to find a good Datacron here that we can use. Something with health. We've got one that's got a big chunk of health on it. Did we use it somewhere already? 13% protection is probably the best. Here's 13% protection with armor penetration, which doesn't really matter much. Dark side tank mechanics. Come on. We don't have anything with better protection. Here's 24% protection. That's fine. I mean, we don't need a Hutt cartel. That's one of the dark side tank, but we still got another one. Okay. It's like that hearing illusion where you hear what it doesn't sound like. Yeah. Those are pretty cool. I like there's a show out there called Veritasium. I don't know if you guys have ever visited the Veritasium channel, but that's fun. They did a pretty big segment on those hearing illusions. Yep. All right, let's just try to make these Gungans easy. Nothing crazy here. Let's go ahead and just do this to start out. Let's do this so we get a bunch of taps on the generator. And then we'll just start, doing Jedi stuff. Oh no, disaster. Why did I do that? I clicked on a guy that had days on. Pay attention, buddy. Pay attention. Okay. I gotta admit that Shakti Basic is coming in pretty handy right now. That clearing off the taunts and whatnot is proving pretty convenient. All right, in we go. Don't be frustrated, Luke. You don't have to be frustrated. All right, let's just take those buffs off because we can. Let's go ahead and swing this around so that we can get rid of the days. Hopefully that'll allow us to stay on the yar here. Okay, in we go. I think at this point I can probably just put it in auto, right? Just stick it in auto and let it go, and he'll get the ult. And... Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Did you know the Star Wars YouTube channel released an hour-long video of Mon Mothma dancing? Is that good? Is it real or is it just AI? Like animated or AI. I can't imagine the real Mon Mothma like from the Andor series or whatever dancing for an hour, but yeah. There's a lot of funny stuff out there. There's a lot of funny stuff. Boris says, "Oh yeah, with Science, Veritasium, and Vsauce are pretty cool. I think JML has the best alt animation." Well, why not? Says it's real. It's from Andor. Oh, okay. Interesting. Hour-long video of Mon Mothma dancing. Okay, now we've got to decide what to do here. So, your proposal is that SLKR is better here. I mean, I'm okay with that, right? We can try to be okay with that. I assume I use the tank here, or should I use Hux, or what? It says armor penetration on it. It's got the dark side tank revive, but I do want some good stats. This is one of the few good datacrons we have left. Boris says, "Sadly, I gotta head out. Have a good rest of your day." All right. Well, you make it a great day yourself. All right, here we go. Let's take Kylo unmasked in there so that we know where the initial hit's going, and maybe we keep Supreme Leader alive longer. All right. Let's stab Fifth Brother here. Okay. The middle skill first, I think, here. And we'll do the lightning stuff. 60%. I don't think I want to go into my ult yet. We did get revived. Didn't have death mark on at the moment, so that's good, right? But also, like I said before, there's no Grand Inquisitor here, so it's kind of a not as scary version of this team, of course. All right, 53 banners. Take it. Now this, we've done Radis with some degree of success. You know what, guys? I have to restart this game. It keeps lagging on me over and over and over again, and I restarted it right before the stream, but I'm going to restart it again because I feel like this thing is like 1 pixel away from just crashing out on me. Is the music really quiet for you guys today, or is the music actually coming through the background music? Because I can usually hear it through my headphones, but today it's like I hear it like, you know, over coming through my headphones. But I can barely hear it today. Okay. Here we go. Let's get back into the game. Let's get back into the... Oops. I clicked on the guild event. Grand Arena attack. Enter. Okay. A little smoother. Okay, Qui-Gon. Man. Radis, I guess. I've tried Separatists here that worked. I tried Bad Batch in 3s that did not work. So, really kind of mixed success here. Relic 8 Kiadi Mundi too. Oof. The zombie bros have been good. My zombie bros are on defense. So, oh wow. Jin got wrecked. Okay, Andor. Oh boy. Let's try to bring him back. Okay, they're hitting Jin, which is okay. Deflected. Okay. We're only on 49 for our hope stacks, which is pretty bad. Okay. Now we got to try again to get Cassian back. There he is. Oh, there he goes. Well, we had him back for a brief moment. He graced us with his presence before exiting once again. Let's do a basic here. Now we'll do this. Poof. Get everybody back. 57 banners. Let's go. Okay. This battle. This is a battle that I feel like I would use Enfys Nest for in some cases, right? Let me refresh myself. While they have advantage, they have 100 speed. So everybody starts with 100 speed. So 216 going to 316. Not impressive. 324. And here is 308. So we can actually get ahead of them if we've got anybody with any kind of speed. But I don't know if that's what we want to do. I got this Relic 5 Hondo that I don't really have a use for yet. I've got a Padme team. I've got Remnant. I mean, Remnant feels like a lot to be using. I have Malik, but I don't think a solo Malik is going to be what I want here. Inventory of remaining things. I think Remnant should work here, right? We should be able to get this with a Remnant. I think if I was facing a Remnant team, I would not bring this team to kill Remnant. So that's kind of a measuring stick that we can use sometimes. Let's not even use a Datacron here. Let's just go in. Wampa, we have a Iden Versio on the back wall. So I feel like the Iden Versio is going to be the Wampa target. So I don't want to throw away my Wampa here. Iden can still be kind of tricky, right? Like Iden can go in the category of no joke. She's got a Gear 12 character with her, so I mean, if I didn't have Wampa, surely I could beat her down somehow, right? Like bring in things that could just kill the sides and then kill Iden. But Wampa should be a nice clean win. All right, let's see how bad Ships is here. We've got a Negotiator, oh, interesting, a home one with the Profundity setup, and then a Radis. Okay, fleets are doable for sure. Yeah, let's go. This should be a full clear, y'all. Let's go for Zori Bliss next, and let's see if we can make our Mandalorians work here. This is another team that could be tricky if we don't get through them. There's a tipping point where like they wreck my team for the first couple rounds, and then we either come back from it or we don't, you know? So let's do this. We'll take him out. Oh, wow. That was, those guys were not very durable, so that's nice. We can just get angry and just keep clicking the button. I love it. I love it. I love clicking the button. Just anger. It feels like such a cool mechanic. Tuskens. We know who likes to get in and mix it up with the Tuskens, right? Yeah. Got to send the gas to do the Tuskens. In we go. We kill the real raider first, then the summon twice, and then everybody else. Real raider first. And then there's this weird mechanic where when we kill the summon, it actually comes back once. But not a second time, right? Like it doesn't ever come back a second time. It only comes back that one time. So it's not an infinite loop of raiders. Okay, here is Iden Versace. We'll use the Wampa here. I don't know. We have something with some tenacity? Sure, let's take that. That's a lot of tenacity. In we go. Just got to avoid that first stun. Can't let her stun us on the first hit. All right. Womp. And now, Wampa doing Wampa things. Ramp. Ramp. All right. Adapt or die once again. We'll just do a basic here. Okay. We'll do another basic. We're not quite at full life, and I really don't want to be off of full life. We do have to do another Womp here. That's enough to get the Gear 12 guy done. We'll go over here. Hit him while he's not in stealth. And then we're just tickling Iden, right? We're basically ramping. And when he pops out of... Oh, he's not going to pop out of stealth because he died to damage over times. Iden. Victory, 58 banners. Nice. I'm pretty sure that their intention was that that scout would make it so that characters like Wampa would get dazed, but the daze doesn't really stop him, you know? Maybe low relic Wampas get stopped by that or something. Maybe there's something to that. What do we have for Empire? We've got Vader. All right, what are the best teams that we have left? I mean, it just comes down to not necessarily complicated, but we've got Padme. We could try to do Padme here. I don't know. I think we just do Vader, and we'll do a couple other Sith or Empire characters here. I mean, we could just go crazy, right? You go crazy? Put like Darth Revan in here. Should we actually take like a real Darth Revan team? Something like this. That could be funny. I don't know, let's try it. Just for the fun of it. All right, here we go. And then we can do Merciless Massacre, Force Crush, do a couple hits across all these guys. You can try to yeet him out of here. Not enough damage though. Oh, Vader out. What? Geo's doing work. Oddly. Wow. That's Vader just I'm surprised that they were able to kill Vader like that. That's oh well. No big deal, right? Malicos. We use Watt, Timbre, and I think the best tank we've got is probably this Malakaliki Malik. Crit chance, offense, health, defense. I mean, we can just use this because we have it, right? It's good stats. Doesn't give us dark side mechanics, but it gives us good stats. Okay, here we go. Sith Eternal doing Sith Eternal things. Seer Junda might be harder to kill than Cal? Question mark? Let's give the weapon tech over to Malik. Going after Watt right away. That's not fantastic. Sure. Get him shocked. Okay. All right. Into the ult we go. I don't think there's a reason to wait. 30 stacks on that Malicos already, though. And then this should be everybody. 54 banners. We'll take it. Okay. And we go on ships, and then when I'm done with ships, I'll talk to you guys about some of the crazy stuff that I've been doing for the last couple months and share with you my point of view on financial stuff, on the state of the economy, all kinds of crazy things like that. And again, I'll just be sharing my opinion with you. And if anybody is interested in that kind of stuff, you may find it interesting. I sound like Yogi Berra. People who like this sort of thing will find that this is the sort of thing they like. Redundancy. Department of Redundancy Department right here. Okay, let's get in here and take care of this. The Rebel fleet shouldn't be too hard to deal with. The Raddus fleet shouldn't be too hard to deal with. We've still got an Executor. I feel pretty confident that we can get a full clear here. Okay. Anakin goes under stealth. We're going to make that not the case. He gets the unending loyalty again, which not much we can do about that. But once you're marked, life gets kind of sad for you, Anakin. Let's just take an attack. Not worried too much about working toward the alt. And Anakin down. Goody two shoes. Let's go. Let's grab this Phantom reinforcement. Pew. All right. Okay. And then we'll call in the Ghost. Then we'll have 5 things on the field. And I think from here, things must go pretty well, right? Even if we are dazed. 88% on the alt if we need it. Here comes another reinforcement. They're going to plow everything up. Oh, 99% on the alt. Come on. We can use this, though, to cleanse one of our ships. Since we're so close to the alt, we don't need to use the basic to promote the alt. Just trying to get rid of this tank, but it's being incredibly durable here. Okay, we got that. Now let's get the plow out of here. Cool. Now let's get the 5s out of here. We can get the capital ship out of here. And that should make it pretty easy for us to get, what, 73 banners I think we'll get from this fight, if all goes according to plan. Should be 73. All right, 74. All right, one more than I thought it was going to be. 74. Okay, so we've got. I'll probably just use Executor here. We've been able to work our way through this fleet before with First Order. So First Order is probably better against this fleet than it is against Rebels. Is that true? Yeah, the Rebels being able to remove taunts and stuff like that, they can too easily get to my silencer. And once you kill the silencer in this team, it's over. So we'll take it against the Radish instead. And we'll take our favorite reinforcements here. I love both Plo and Cassian's U-Wing as reinforcements with First Order. I think they're the best 2 reinforcements for the First Order fleet. if you can spare them from other things. All right, we'll put a missile on Rey. And then we just got to kind of waste time for a minute here. We'll do that. We'll reestablish the taunt by putting other people in stealth. Okay, and then we're going to try to cleanse off what buffs we can. We're going to bring in a reinforcement to cleanse everybody. Love me some Cassian's U-Wing in this lineup. And then we should be able to get a crit here. All right, come uppance. Okay. And now we got to try to get Rey stunned if we can. There was a stun, that was good. Now let's clear off the buffs. Okay. And then, you know, just a little bit of control. Works pretty well. We'll call the silencer for an assist. I think that's our best option here. Alrighty. And if we do get to another reinforcement, then I think we're going to bring in that Plo. We'll take the daze. He's dazed. He can't get turn meter, so let's just steal it from him instead. Pass it over. Big hit. Dodged. Okay. Let's bring in that Plo. Get everybody cleared up, healed up. Optimizing banners. It's not really relevant to optimize banners right here, but it's best to practice these matchups as if it did matter, I suppose. Let's go ahead and put the taunt back on the tank. Thank you, Plo. Again, I mean, Plo just the synergy that Cassian's U-Wing and Plo have with First Order is pretty interesting. You know, Cassian's U-Wing can call a assist from the silencer. Plo puts a taunt on the tank that has trouble keeping a taunt up. So, yeah, it's just both those reinforcements I feel like are good. And then we'll just take everything in here. We'll take the full Executor fleet with all the reinforcements. And we are going to waste a banner or two that we could have saved, but I don't want any regrets. We're going to go with the tanks first because we're not going to hold the Millennium Falcon down. Well, if we get the mass assist, we might just straight up kill the Falcon, right? Not quite. All right, and it did exactly what the reason I didn't want to mess with it. Goes into that little spin move, and then you got to wait to target it. Okay. Of course, the Executor fleet is just dominant against this nonsense. All right. Nothing to see here. Oh, the Oot Rider. Let's go. Pew. All right, full clear. Full clear, guys. 69 to finish the session. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Empty board. Let's go. Let's go. Jerome says my ally code is this number. Probably have to leave soon, so I won't be able to answer any questions you have. Okay, sure. I think somebody else actually asked for something up earlier too. Did somebody else throw an ally code in here? Jellywatch or something? Yeah, okay. Jellywatch says working on Leia, farming some droid ships and tunes ideas for after Leia. Okay, we'll take a look at that. I'll take a look at Brunson first here because he said he's got to go. So let's journey guide. Allies. All right. Allies. 797221431. In we go. What? Man, I cannot click the right button to save my life today. 797-221-431. I did data entry when I was very young and had to use the number pad a lot. It's pretty interesting. It actually got me used to using the number pad. It's come in handy. All right, stats. 10 million galactic power. Phew. Let's go. 6339. Yeah. How long you been playing? 24,000. So 6 years. Wow. That's a long time. All right. So, Jerez, was there anything specifically that you wanted to see? Would like to fill in some of the holes in my account. See anything before that? Yeah, okay. Lightsaber deployed, have a good one. Thanks, consumer. All right. All right, so let's take a look at the inventory here real quick. Profundity, Executor, Leviathan, all three. That's fantastic. Characters, 6 Galactic Legends. Okay. So, again, for an account like this, I think the advice is always the same. So what I'd be working on with this account, I would look forward. So the Bad Batch are now becoming, the new Bad Batch characters are becoming farmable. I'd be working on those. The Dark Side clones are coming out. Work on the Marquis. As soon as they become farmable, you're going to work on them. So you're just going to, every time new content comes to the game, that's what you're going to focus on. And then while you're building that stuff, there's time to go backwards. So with your account set up the way it is, let's take a look and see if you got the Bad Batch bundle. Nope. Okay. So that leaves you with, you got Kenobi, Luke, Leia. So you still need Ahsoka and Rey. I would backtrack for let's take a look at what you've done with Spectre just to see. So the Spectre characters are 3, 5, 6 stars. Interesting. So I think Sith Eternal would be kind of hard to reach back for. So I think you probably work on Rey. That's the choice. You can work on Rey and use your Ezra Exile with Rey. Yeah, okay, we didn't get the Lightspeed bundle for that either. Yeah, so if you're doing like total free to play, then the best bet you have is to work on the new content, like I said. And then the content that you backtrack to at this point, that needs to be Galactic Legend Ahsoka. Because you're a long way away from Lord Vader and you're a long way away from Rey. And working on that many relic characters for the older stuff, I don't think is efficient. So I'd play catch up on Galactic Legend Ahsoka, but I would do that only as extra gear. I'd be working on the new Bad Batch and the Dark Side clones and make sure that you stay relevant for the new raid that's coming up. Build those characters, farm them up, get them up and running as soon as you can. And then fill in Lord Vader and Rey much later in the future. That's my feeling. All right, and then let's take a quick look at Jelly Watch, and then I'll talk to you guys a bit about the stuff I promised. Okay. What did Jelly Watch say? So 4, 3, 7, 3, 1, 1, 3, 7, 5. Search. Okay. 4, 3, 7, 3, 1, 1, 3, 7, 5. Okay. Working on Leia. Farming up droid ships and the last tunes for Leia. And then ideas for after Leia. Okay. 4 a million galactic power. 2316. Been playing for not even a year yet. Okay. Interesting. Let's take a look at the inventory. I see the Executor. That's fantastic. That's what we always like to see. Got that early fleet dominance established. Let's go. Perfect. Okay. Character-wise, then, working on Leia as the first GL. Nice. This is a great build. I love this. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Executor to establish fleet presence is done. The CLS team to help with conquest and a lot of other stuff is done. Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, grab those along the way. Nice. And then building Leia as the first Galactic Legend also will help control conquest. 4 million galactic power, so we can do hard conquest now. This is all great. What I would do next is I would probably go back. You're going to have to be relevant for the new raid. If you want to be in a good guild, you've got to be relevant for the new raid. You probably don't need a huge contribution, but do make sure that you get the new Bad Batch and the new Dark Trooper clones. Get them at least to 5 stars so that you can gear them up a little bit and, you know, get those contributions, you know, at the 300,000 level. If you have 2 teams like that, you can get 600,000 out of those 2 teams, even at 5 stars. You'll probably have to build one of those teams up to get a good contribution and get into a really good guild. So looking forward, pay attention to that and decide if you want to do the new Bad Batch or the clones. Probably the new Bad Batch would be the best synergy with what you've got. And then I would do Jabba and Jedi Master Luke. Those two have a lot of synergy through Jedi Knight Luke. Jabba is extremely relevant in all areas of the game. And so those 2 Galactic Legends feel to me like kind of a combo deal. So I would probably work on them, make sure I get relevance for the new raid. And after the Jabba Jedi Master Luke, then you go into the same mode where you're always working on the new stuff and, you know, filling in the old stuff as you get extra resources. That's what I think. All right, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've been doing for the last 3 months. So some of you will know that I've spent most of my life working for somebody else. I've been gainfully employed for my whole career. Last year, I sort of had this moment where management changed at the company I was at. The new priorities for the management didn't align with my style of leadership. So I knew that wasn't going to be a fit and that I had to leave the company I was working for. That's fine. It's not a big deal. I don't think that's bad. I don't hold a grudge. Not everybody's going to fit in everywhere they try to go. But I made the decision that instead of looking for a different job, what I was going to do instead was be self-employed and go entirely on my own. And if I've been making money for other people for my whole life, why isn't it that I could just make money for myself? So I talked to a professional financial advisor about my situation, and honestly, I can retire. Like, I've got a ton of money saved up for retirement. It's going to grow even more. So basically, all I have to do is just make ends meet, and that's it. So I thought, yeah, you know what? I'll do the Star Wars YouTube channel. I'll do the RPG channel that I was working on. I'll make a little money with that, and I'll be happy. I'll be retired early or something. And then I can just do a little real estate, do a little stock investing, and I'm fine. There's a problem with that, though. I'm an extremely competitive person, and as soon as I tried to do that, within a couple months, I was going crazy. So I finished out last year. I came into January. I was making all kinds of videos. I was running the channel. But like the competitive part of life, just I was not happy. I was not happy with doing less than I thought I could do. I used to do investing in the stock market a long time ago. And I was good at it. And then I was bad at it. So as I started getting more and more into the stock market, what ended up happening? What just happened over here? I'm trying to modify a screen here, and it just all went badly. So what happened was, as I got better at it and I got more money in the account, the money started to become real to me, and I got emotional about it, started making bad decisions, and my investing career then kind of went the other way, went down the drain. So I thought, you know what? I need to get back into that. Well, then coming into January, the stock market started to go down. And for people who are interested in investing or interested in finance, what goes up must come down. And if you look at, we'll just use as an example the chart for QQQ, Invesco, as kind of a representation of the market, right? Comes up, comes back down a little bit, comes up, comes down a little bit, up, comes down a little bit, goes up, comes down. So here I am in October thinking about being in the stock market. Everything's like high priced. I don't know. Do I want to do this again or not? And then as things go on and we start to get into January, it's still going up. And you see these lines that are here. This is a channel. So it's an uptrend, but it's also channeling within a range. And if it's going up and kind of in a channel like this, that's typically a flag that says the next direction is down. If stock prices go down, everybody loses a lot of money. But smart investors know that the lower the price goes, the more opportunity there is for people who are smart and buy into the stock market when it's low. So if you're in it when it's high and it goes down, you're sad. But if you're waiting to buy, the lower it goes, the better off you are. So when I started looking at getting back into investing back in November, there was this, what looked to me to be a channel where the next direction is going to be down. So I thought, man, I need to get money together, right? Like I need to start getting ready to buy stocks. So for the last 3 months, I've sold everything. I've refinanced everything. I've pulled all the money out of every asset I owned and generated a pool of investment money. Now, sure enough, the stock market started to go down at the beginning of the year. Okay? It's going down, and the lower it goes, the better the opportunity is. And there's ways in the stock market that you can make money while the stock market's going down. So I was doing that. And, I remembered what I knew from before, and I've been doing well with it. Stock market recovered a little bit, went back down again, and then took a big jump down when Trump announced the tariffs and all that stuff, and everything took a big dump. And the lower it went, the more excited I got, because this is like such a good opportunity. If you're ever going to buy and own stocks long term, the opportunity is huge. Now, the problem is people don't want to buy if it's not at the bottom, right? So what happens is, let's say we go back here and we look at this trend, right? The market goes down, and I might say, okay, there's an opportunity to get in. But then very quickly it goes back down, and it's going down further than it was before. And this is where people panic and they sell off their stocks and they lose money and things go badly. And people now are looking for the bottom of the market. They don't want to buy in until this market is at the bottom, right? That's the ideal. That's what people think. They think they're going to buy in here at the bottom and it's going to go up. So they're waiting for the bottom. The problem with waiting for the bottom is, here's where statistics kick in. If you're a statistician, you know, when this market came down and was at the very lowest price, there was exactly one person out of everybody trading all the stocks and the millions of things being traded in the market, there's one person that made a sale, that made a purchase at the lowest price. The likelihood that you're going to be that one person is so statistically close to zero, you don't even want to think about it. Who cares? If it came down here and you got in here and you said, okay, it came down, it bounced back up, I think the market's going back up, and you got in here, it would have gone down. But here's the thing. You don't have to get in at the very bottom. As long as you get in when it's low and you wait, you still make money. Okay? The reason I'm telling you guys all this, and again, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not telling people what to do, but there's an opportunity right now. If you're into this kind of thing and you care about the stock market and you want to try to make money, there's a trend going on right now that's actionable. This level is an area where the market has found support, bounced off of, and these are tech stocks that I'm looking at, so it's just a representation of one sector of the stock market, right? But okay, so it bounced down, came up. When it went below that line, it came back up into the line, and now that it's gone back down, it's come back into this line. The likelihood is from here, it's going to bounce off and go back down again before it takes an uptrend and goes up. So if this was the bottom, then it's still going to come back down and go up, I think. Again, I'm not an expert, but statistically, it's not likely that we're going to punch right through this resistance and keep going up. So within the next few weeks, if that goes down, it may be the last buying opportunity before this market takes back off in the right direction. So if you're an investor, if you want to try to make money in the traditional way by owning stock and holding on to it, I personally think there's a huge opportunity. And again, it may not be the bottom. We may be going down from here, and this may not be the bottom, but I don't care. If I get in like, let's say it comes back down a little bit and I get in here on any stocks that I'm looking for, you know, the next few weeks will be opportunities to buy. And once the market does start to go back up in a meaningful way, there's going to be panic. People are going to be panicking in the opposite direction. They're going to be so afraid of missing out. And that's what you see when you get these downtrends. As soon as it starts to go up, people are so scared that they're going to miss out that these prices often jump way up. Cool off for a little bit, jump way up. People are just scared that they missed it. I missed the bottom. I got to get in before it goes too high. So those are my thoughts. I think it's a real opportunity in the next few weeks. I think once it takes off, it's really going to take off. And that's not to say that it won't come back down again in the future. But this is what I've been doing. I've been getting back into investing. I've been working on this stuff. The other thing I'll say, and again, not that I have any special skill, but Trump put out a book called The Art of the Deal. And in The Art of the Deal, he said, you come to the table with a ridiculous offer. You open the bidding with something that you know no reasonable, logical person would ever agree to. And when the other people get offended, you walk away. You're tough. You show them you don't care. I care so little about this deal. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. You walk away. And what that does is it sets the stage for then later in the future, when you finally sit down at the table and negotiate, you're negotiating from a position of strength. Trump wrote the book, right? He wrote a book and said in his book, this is what I believe. So when you look at the tariffs and a lot of his other policies, I don't think he's intending to let the world economy crash. I don't think he's intending or ever intended to drive the U.S. economy into a steep recession. He's just making a ridiculous opening offer so that when he does the real negotiation, he'll get a better deal than he would have otherwise. It's in his book. That's what he believes in. I can't believe that he's doing anything other than what he says in his book, right? So as people figure that out, as he starts to make the real deals on these tariffs, all of this fear is going to leave. Fear in the stock market is measured by volatility. And volatility in the stock market just now dropped below 30 again. When these numbers are high, it means that people are terrified of where the market's going to go next. The likely direction of the market is down, 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 right? So you can see even back in January when the market was going down, people weren't that afraid. It wasn't until April with the tariff stuff that people got really afraid. Well, that's coming back down now. People are starting to get rational and realize it's going to be fine, right? Like Trump's not going to let the world burn. This is not a comment on politics or whether or not I agree with what he does or how he does it. I'm only interested in the statistics of can I make money off of it? So, and the reason I decided to share that with you all, again, maybe people like it, maybe people don't care. I've lost about a third of the viewers just tuned out when I got to this part of it because they don't care, right? Which is fine. But if there are any people who watch my stuff that are interested in this kind of thing, it's my opinion. The Bitcoin thing is another, it's so interesting because when Trump got elected, Bitcoin went up. And people said Bitcoin was going up because Trump got elected. But the truth is, Bitcoin does a halving process every 4 years. And the rise in Bitcoin, statistically, was exactly what happens with the halving process. When the market went down, when there was uncertainty and fear, the price of Bitcoin went down. Now that the market's getting stabilized and fear is going down, Bitcoin's going back up. If the U.S. government ever wants to create an actual reserve of Bitcoin, they're never going to say it. You can't. If the government came out and announced they were going to buy 10,000 Bitcoins, everybody would go buy up every available Bitcoin and force the government to buy them at the highest possible price and drive the price upward, skyrocketing. And then once the U.S. had bought all of their reserve, the price would drop back down and the U.S. would be holding all those losses, right? So there's no way the government can come out and say, we're going to start buying some Bitcoin. They can't say it. It would be the worst possible thing they could do for their own benefit as well as for the market. But I think they still intend to do it. I still think they're going to do it quietly on the side without telling anybody. They're going to buy up Bitcoin very, very slowly, a bit at a time. But I think the government's going to create a strategic reserve. They just can't tell anybody they're going to do that, right? So I've also made a big play on Bitcoin. I've taken a third of my entire retirement account and I've put it into Bitcoin-related assets with a strong belief that Bitcoin will at least double by the end of the year. I expect it's trading like 93,000 now. I think it's going to be $250,000 by the end of the year. Now, I have reasons I believe that, but again, I'm not a finance guy. I'm not somebody who can, tell you on the charts exactly why I believe that and make it make sense logically. I'm just looking at statistics. I'm looking at the halving cycle. They halved it last April, and Bitcoin goes up for 18 months after each halving cycle. There's a statistical tendency to increase. We've seen the first part of that increase already, but it still has all the way through October of this year or so to be in that increase cycle. I'm betting on it. I'm betting that statistics just repeat themselves. It's nothing brilliant. It's nothing more than that. I believe that Bitcoin is getting established as a way to retain value, and I'm betting a whole lot of money on it. So that's what I've been doing for the last 3 months. I've been trying to get back into investing, back into stock market analysis, figuring out what I'm going to do with my funds in my retirement, refinancing, selling, buying. I've been shuffling things like crazy. So far with good success. I'll see if that continues. But at this point in time, if I can just continue what I did in the first quarter of this year, I should never have to go to work for somebody else again. I should be good to go. It's no guarantee of future success, but if I can just repeat my results, I will be able to be self-employed for the rest of my life. So there you go. I don't know if that's interesting to anybody or if anybody cares about it, but like I said, it's fun for me sometimes to take stuff like this, put it on the record, make my predictions, and then, in a few months, if this didn't go the way I thought, well, my poor analysis will be public. But it does make me kind of commit to it in a different way if I'm going to tell people what I think. And I think that's fun. It's fun for me. All right, that's going to wrap it up for me for today's stream. Thank you all for watching. And if anybody has any comments, again, I'll say it here at the end. Do not take this as financial advice. I'm not telling people what to do or what they should do, or I'm not saying anything. There's no financial advice here. I'm just telling you all what I think and what I see, and you can do with it whatever you want. All right, thanks for watching. Remember to hit the like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Subscribe, notification bell, all those things. And join us on Discord if you're not a member already. It's a nice place to hang out. It's a safe community. There's an Ask Loquitur channel. You can ask me questions directly, and I'll help you when I get the opportunity. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next holocron.